Delving into Delaware's quirky legal quicksand is akin to wandering through a fascinating historical landscape, where time-worn laws linger unnoticed, like forgotten relics in a legal museum. These outdated statutes, while often ignored or unenforced, remain technically active and offer a peculiar glimpse into the state's legal past. This concept captures the curious nature of statutes that, though designed for past societal norms, still exist on paper and, theoretically, could be enforced. The significance of exploring these laws lies in understanding the juxtaposition of modern life against archaic legal frameworks. These laws serve as cultural artifacts that provoke thought about how societies evolve and the legal remnants left behind. For instance, the law against impersonating clergy may have once protected religious institutions' sanctity, while today it highlights the growing secularism and diversification of belief systems. Similarly, penalties for changing names to avoid debt underscore a once prevailing concern for personal accountability that now exists within a vastly different economic landscape. Real-world illustrations of this concept include Delaware's prohibition on selling fake butter, a statute stemming from historical efforts to protect consumers from fraudulent goods. Another is the mandate for horse riders to carry specific lighting during nighttime travel, revealing the challenges of transitioning from equestrian to automotive societies without legislative updates. These examples help audiences appreciate the historical context and the sometimes humorous persistence of bygone concerns. Opinions supporting the preservation of such laws often come from those who view them as a testament to legal history, a source of amusement, or even a cautionary tale of legislative oversight. However, challenges arise in considering the relevance and resource allocation for maintaining these statutes. Critics argue that legal systems should prioritize efficiency and relevance, raising questions about the judicial system's adaptability and responsiveness. These peculiar laws reflect larger themes of governance and societal change, influencing how other legal domains might similarly cling to outdated practices. Exposing these laws in documentary style not only sheds light on Delaware's unique legal landscape, but also serves as a call for periodic reassessment of legislative priorities to ensure they align with present-day values and needs. Through this exploration, audiences can reflect on the silent yet potent influence these neglected laws exert on modern legislation, sparking a conversation on what should remain and what should be reformed in the vast sea of legal text. The concept of outdated laws remaining technically enforceable in Delaware is a fascinating anomaly in our legal system. These laws, remnants of bygone eras, linger on the books despite being irrelevant to modern life. Understanding these outdated laws highlights the quirks and idiosyncrasies of legal history and underscores the importance of periodic legislative review. The significance of exposing these archaic statutes lies in the broader context of legal transparency and reform. Highlighting the absurdity of such laws, like the prohibition against impersonation of clergy, which traces back to a time when the clergy held much more socio-political power, challenges viewers to question why these relics remain unaddressed. By showcasing these laws with a calm, witty, and ironic tone, the video can engage the audience to consider the disconnect between law and contemporary society. Real-world applications of these outdated statutes can be both illustrative and amusing. For instance, under Delaware law, selling adulterated butter or fake butter substitutes like margarine carries strict penalties, harkening back to food quality concerns of the 19th century. Similarly, the requirement for horseback riders to carry illuminated lamps after dark, a precaution dating to an era before automobiles, now holds unwarranted importance. These examples paint a vivid picture of how laws once crucial to daily life can lose relevance over time. Some legal experts opine that these forgotten statutes reflect an inefficiency in legislative processes. As society progresses, the failure to review and update legal codes can lead to a bloated system burdened by irrelevant clauses. There is a sense of irony in a state's legal books being filled with such dead wood when modern issues demand legislative attention. However, the challenge lies in the inertia of policy change, where political willpower may be lacking to address low-priority items. Moreover, retaining such laws, albeit humorous, can have unexpected legal implications, potentially leading to misuse or selective enforcement, as they remain active unless repealed. This exploration into Delaware's outdated laws reveals a microcosm of a larger systemic issue, encouraging discussion about how laws should evolve with society. It underscores the importance of legislative housecleaning, while, ironically, providing humor and insight into the persistently odd nature of law. By tackling these peculiar statutes, the video connects viewers to a broader narrative of change and adaptation within legal systems, fostering skepticism towards neglected legislation. In the charming state of Delaware, where history whispers through cobblestone streets and historical markers dot the landscape, there exists a curious provision in the law that bans the impersonation of clergy members. While it may seem peculiar today, it's a vestige of a time when the sanctity of religious leadership demanded the utmost respect, and impersonating a clergyman carried severe implications for community trust and moral order. This outdated law, like a relic from a bygone era, reminds us of the changing perceptions of authority and trust in society. The law's significance lies in its underlying concern for authenticity and integrity. While today, impersonating a clergyman might seem an unusual crime, the law still technically holds merit, spotlighting the societal reverence once placed on religious figures. This emphasis calls attention to how deeply intertwined law, morality, and faith have been historically. In today's world, where the impersonation of professionals can have severe repercussions, like posing as law enforcement, such laws echo a commitment to preserving the sanctity of social roles, even if they now rest largely outside the public's radar. Imagine this. A mischievous prankster in Dover dons a clerical collar, only to belligerently offend an entire congregation, an archaic yet amusing breach of law in the eyes of the modern observer. Or consider an ardent opponent in a heated town debate who feigns a ministerial identity to sway opinions under false morality, a scenario underscoring the potential manipulations such a law seeks to prevent, albeit with charmingly outdated severity. Those in favor of keeping such laws argue that they serve as safety nets, preventing rare but impactful impersonations that could damage communities or defraud individuals. They see these laws as retained moral guidelines, like ancient beacons, illuminating the borders of ethical conduct, however anachronistic they might seem. However, the challenges of maintaining this law in modern times are evident. Critics argue that allowing such statutes to linger invites legal clutter, potentially diverting resources from more pertinent legal concerns. As societal values evolve, some suggest revisiting and revising such laws to better reflect contemporary ethical landscapes. This examination of clergy impersonation laws dovetails with Delaware's broader tally of quaint legal statutes. It highlights how little attended laws can reflect past societal values, while engaging us in a conversation about what laws still serve a purpose today. By delving into these antiquated, yet still enforceable laws, we illuminate not just issues of legality, but the vibrant tapestry of societal change, encouraging a reflection on which aspects of our past we carry forward and which we let go. In Delaware, a peculiar tapestry of archaic laws quietly persists, defying the sands of time with a mix of bemusement and bewilderment. Take, for example, the law prohibiting the impersonation of clergy. This law, originally intended to preserve the sanctity and authority of religious figures, appears anachronistic in an era where the boundaries between secular and spiritual roles have long blurred. Yet, its continued presence hints at a bygone societal reverence and a yearning to maintain order through respect for spiritual authority. The quirky charm of this law lies in its reminder of the evolving relationship between law, morality, and societal norms. Equally intriguing is the law prohibiting name changes to escape financial obligations. This legislation underscores an enduring truth. One cannot simply vanish debts with the stroke of a pen. Originally instated to uphold personal accountability, its existence today serves as a bemusing reminder that legal identity remains inextricably linked to financial liability. The notion of accountability, though timeless, clashes with modern realities where identity reshaping, although often digitally rather than legally, is more common and fluid. For instance, Delaware's strict regulations against selling imitation or adulterated butter highlight a bygone era when food integrity was deeply tied to public health. This law once served as a frontline defense against deceptive practices that compromised consumer safety. Similarly, the insistence on vendors' liability for unsafe foods, disregarding disclaimers, reflects an unyielding commitment to consumer protection. Yet, in a world of ever-evolving culinary trends and health consciousness, the inflexibility of such laws poses challenges, especially when weighed against current expectations of personal responsibility. Even more obscure is the mandate for proper lighting while horseback riding at night. Originally crafted to prevent accidents, it speaks to a time when horse-drawn transportation was pivotal. Today, it lingers as a whimsical testament to the swift transformation of transportation norms. Opinions on these antiquated laws range from advocacy for their comprehensive revision to appreciation for their historical quaintness. They spark debate on the balance between preserving heritage and fostering relevance. Some argue for their repeal, citing irrelevance in a digitized, car-dependent age. Ultimately, these laws, woven together, illustrate the overarching theme: the enduring presence of seemingly obsolete regulations. They serve as living artifacts of cultural evolution, challenging us to reflect on how laws should evolve to meet contemporary societal needs while maintaining their foundational purpose. As this detective work through Delaware's legal archives exposes, neglected laws not only inform a state's identity, but also shape its future path.